That's better. How we doing? All right, we're live over here on YouTube. Let's get us started on IG, and we'll get ourselves going with the snacks for the day, the treats for the day, the food Friday, essentially, right? Because we all know what it is today. It's Food Friday. So, welcome everyone. Hello, hello, hello. And to be honest, I've already started doing some of the stuff that I needed to do. I wanted to be more like Martha Stewart, right? Where you just pull it out, put it in the jar, put it in the bowl, put it in the go. I don't want to have you wasting time watching me measuring shit, right? Let's be real. It's not Martha doesn't do it that way, and so I got to imitate my Martha. So I appreciate everybody coming in. I'm vegan. Okay. How we doing, Rose? How is everybody doing? You're vegan. No, awesome. Be like Julia Child. Yes, you remember the old Julia Child stream. So, how's everybody doing? Let me know where everybody's tuning in from. But essentially, it looks like you guys voted, and we are going to do the strawberry bars first. So, the strawberry bars, this comes from me wanting to make a strawberry pretzel salad. Hello from Boston. Hello, Boston, my East Coast people. California, welcome, welcome. Has anybody had a strawberry pretzel salad? Now, that's something, I don't know, it's made with Cool Whip, so you can't really make it healthy. But essentially, what I wanted to do was like, how can I make this a little bit healthier? I don't have pretzels, but I have a shit ton of oats. I got like 3 different brands of oats. So strawberry pretzel salad, no. Is it just a Pittsburgh thing? Oh my gosh, okay, no, yes. I had the salad, okay, the salad. Well, there's 2 difference, right? There's a salad, the strawberry pretzel salad, but it's almost like it's kind of like a tiramisu in a way. Hello from Austin. Oh, we got everyone from everywhere today. Awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. And let me know if you like this angle. I know I'm kind of like down, but I could either put you over here, I could put you over there. Let me know how it is. But essentially, I want you to see what's going on. So, what I have going on right here is I've already kind of pre-measured a cup of oats. I got a 3/4 of a cup of flour, and I really poured it right. You should never scoop it when we're doing this. And I got some brown sugar. So essentially, what I wanted to do is show you that the secret ingredient. I wouldn't even know if it's secret ingredient, but it is ground ginger. So ginger, just like on the other Food Friday streams, we measure with our heart, right? So we're just looking for a little sprinkle here, a little sprinkle there. We don't want it to be too ginger-y, if that's even a word. But I'm going to get some salt. And we're just trying to mix some of these dry ingredients together because essentially, and again, Julia Child, they'd be yelling at me if, since I'm not measuring this, so, oh well. That's why I measured out the main ingredients first, so I know that that's official because, I never really like to measure, right? Everybody likes to measure with their heart, let's be real. But essentially, we have our dry ingredients right here. So this is oats, flour, brown sugar, a little bit of ginger, a little bit of salt. And this is going to be basically our base because essentially what we're going to do is to make this into a crumb. So I got some butter. Yes, some butter, don't be afraid of the butter. It's not about having butter, it's about having too much butter, right? So let's give this a good melt. We'll go 15 seconds over here on it. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We are making the strawberry bars. And essentially I got my fresh organic strawberries sitting right here. Is that your puppy in the background sleeping? Nope, that is my cat. And if you see right there, hold on, let me get my little finger. Do you see that? That is her automatic feeder right there. And she is just waiting for that thing to go off. She is it's almost to the point. Kitty, see, you want to say hi? You want to say hi to the people on the stream, huh? I am wearing all black, but now she thinks I'm going to give her something. See, we woke up the beast over here, and now she's like, what do you got for me? See, yeah, but no, she's ready to go. That is the sous chef. She is like she'll make sure nothing. When people think about Roombas and stuff. I'm like, who needs a Roomba when you got an animal that will literally pick up everything off of the floor, right? Let's be real. They're going to pick up everything off the floor. And if you're watching on YouTube, you're probably wondering, what the hell are you talking about? I can't see no cat. Well, it's because we have it over there on the other side. So essentially, let's show you, see what we have right here. We have our brown sugar, we have our dry ingredients. And so cat treats, I actually want to make my own homemade cat treats. So if anybody knows in the chat how we can do that, let me know, because that would be awesome. The ones that like aren't gonna necessarily kill the cat, I've always thought about making her, since she is diabetic, her own food, her own wet food. But then I realized that like that requires me grounding up a whole bunch of like chicken liver and all this other stuff, and I just don't know if I'm really about I don't know if I'm about that right now. So yeah, we're just gonna deal without that. But we got our butter slightly melted, and look, whenever I am doing my butter, see how it's not completely melted, it's mostly melted. Whenever I'm baking, this is how I like to do it, because essentially what we are making is the crust, right? We're making the crust, we're making a crumb. And when you're doing this, you do want to make sure that we do reserve some for the top, right? So we don't want it just to be all at the bottom. So essentially, you just want to make and mix all of this together. And again, this is our oats. And I am actually going to add a little bit of protein powder that I have over here, just to kind of give us a little bit of protein, right? And you always got to watch out with when you're mixing and cooking with protein powder, right? So you know, 1 scoop of this, right, when you're doing protein powder, 1 scoop of this, no, this isn't drugs, right? 1 scoop of this is 25 grams, right? And it's gonna make this really dry. So I'm really looking for maybe half of the protein powder, and let's give it at least 12 grams, 14 extra grams of protein. That might have not have been there beforehand, right? And the thing is if you have to adjust the butter or water ratio, the way that I look at it is when you start adding vanilla, because you know we love our vanilla, is when we add the vanilla in here, it will actually kind of bring it all together so it's not really so dry. And so that's what we are going to do right now. So we're going to add a little bit of vanilla. Kitty, watch out. What did I do with it? I see I had everything set up, and then now, oh, it's right. Of course, it's always right in front of you, right? Let me know in the chat. Every time you're cooking something, you're always looking all over the kitchen for it. 9 times out of 10, it's sitting right in front of you. Let's be real. So we're going to add just a little bit of vanilla in here. And we're going to bring this all together. And you can see, right, it's not really crumbly. It's not like it's all coming together, because again, once you push it together, it is all gonna be all right. So I have I think, what is this size? 13 by 9. So if you see this, YouTube, 13 by 9, and see, it's got a little bit of a dish. Now, ideally, if I were to be making this for people or bringing this to like a party or doing whatever, I would put some parchment paper back here so that when you lift it out, you can go. But this is going to be sitting in my fridge, so I really don't care. But essentially what I want you to do is just bring, well, actually first, let me reserve about a ½ cup. So I'm going to reserve a ½ cup because we're going to put that on top. Okay, so let me push that down. That's a little too much. All right, so we're gonna bring this down at the bottom, and I probably should set my damn oven so that we have that. So again, with this, we're not making, this is, I was gonna make the strawberry pretzel salad, right? But then I realized I got way too many oats. There's way too many oats. So essentially what we're trying to do is use this as a base. This actually might be a little too big. Nah, that's perfect. And so we're using this as a base, pressing everything down, making sure you get it all the way to the side. And you can see, right, we're doing a nice crust. And it's a very thin layer, right? It's not going to be too crazy. Maybe I should have added maybe a little bit more flour. Maybe my measurements were off, because the last time I made this, it was actually a little bit more crusty, if that's what you're looking for. If you want a bigger crust, you know, obviously adjust it, but let me know how you do it. So I guess I'm just complaining because as I smash it all down, it does look good. But essentially, there it is, right? there is your base. There is your crust. It's nice and easy. I'm gonna wash my hands, but then now we're gonna leave this here. We need to put our strawberries on here. So when you're doing the strawberries, now you have a couple different ways, right? You can slice them all the way down until you have these slices, or you could dice them. Me personally, I like the slices. YouTube, the slices, because then you can kind of just layer it down as much as you want. Really, you could do whatever the hell you want, right, when it comes down to it. But these are just some strawberry oatmeal bars. Now you could dice them. I really wouldn't blend them. You don't want necessarily a puree because you're not making it. I'm sorry if that sounds loud, but essentially, yes, we are gonna bake all of this. And you're probably wondering too, like, Nick, well, how's this all come together, right? It's a beautiful portion slice. Oh, thank you. You know, we've been around the block cooking. You know, it's not like I do this for a living. Actually, getting away from being a private chef, but you know, that's what a sharp knife would do to you. And that's always the biggest like tip that I can give anybody who's a home cook or who likes to cook or wants to start cooking more. Make sure you got a sharp knife. You know, every time that you're sitting there crying from your onions because your onions are so, you know, they're so bright, they're so cheerful. No, it's because your onions are mad at you because you're ripping them with your dull ass knife. So every time you cry, it's basically telling you sharpen your knife. So there's a hack right there that you can remember. And now you think I'm already at 4. Should we keep putting more strawberries down on this thing? Let me know. Should we keep putting more strawberries? Should we use all the damn strawberries? What do you think, chat? What should we do? We still have probably 10. Yes, more strawberries. Okay, more strawberries it is. Yeah, one of the main reasons why you cry whenever you cut an onion is because your knife is dull. And it's just like it's nature's way. It's an onion's defense system. If you really want to know, it is the onion. So when predators are eating at it and attacking it, it releases that juice or releases that gas, essentially, because that's what it is. And predators get away from it. And so when you're cutting it with a dull ass knife, the onion's thinking you're a predator biting into the onion. So it's the more you know. All right. So now we're getting pretty full here with the strawberries. Let's do one more, right? Let's do one more. You always gotta trust yourself with the knife, right? Every time. Look at that slices. Look at that, YouTube, right? Every time. And make sure that you rinse these damn strawberries too, because you know, you never know. Maybe just half. Okay, yeah, maybe just half. There's a lot of them. I didn't realize how many there was, but they're good. So now that we have that, let me wash my hands. We're gonna actually add. Oh, there we go. The oven is preheated. Perfect. All right, I like it. See. All right, so now that we have this, we got to add a little bit of cornstarch. And you might be asking, why cornstarch? Well, when we add a little bit of cornstarch to this, well, let me measure it out. This is what you want to measure it out. Is that it won't, because that is a fruit, right? So when we think that is a fruit and that is kind of like a crust that we're making it, being that we want to make it a bar, we don't want it to be too soggy, and we also don't want it to be too necessarily dry as well. So now that we got all of that going, we have our, we're gonna do a little tablespoon. We'll say about a half a tablespoon, and we're going all the way across because again, we are not looking for perfection. We're just trying to give it a nice coating, as you can see. No, this is not powdered sugar. This is cornstarch. And we're gonna go about half of this all the way through. And this kind of gives it that glue, right? That natural glue that you're looking for. Let me see, where is everything? Okay, bada bing, bada boom. Perfect. Maybe a little too much, maybe don't do that. But now, this is why we save this extra half a cup, right? It's because, actually, I did bring lemon. I think, should we do a little bit of lemon to this as well? Should we add a little lemon just to like kind of tone down, give it a little acidity? What do you think? Should we do a little lemon? Let me know in the chat. Should we do a little, just a little bit? Yes, a little bit of lemon. Okay, see, you say it. So, making sure there's no seeds. We don't want any seeds. But again, same thing is that I'm going just across, not real uniformly, but just kind of scattering it all the way around. You might be wondering, like, damn, a little bit of lemon. Yes, always a little bit of lemon, so that's perfect. So now that we have that, let's add in the rest of our crumble. And again, we don't want to completely cover this, right? We want to have some of the fruit showing as we bake this, because when we bake this, it's all going to try to come together, because essentially, right, what is this? This is an oatmeal square when it comes down to it. So this is our freshly baked oatmeal squares, and the thing is you can buy these at the store, and I was just seeing it at the store when I was buying some brown sugar. They're like $9 for a box of these. So when I make this a full fresh batch, this is something you could use in the morning. This is something you can use as a snack, right? This is why we're making this, and essentially, that's how we're gonna bake it. Now, if you want, and what actually I am gonna do, is just gonna add a little bit of sugar on top, just because everything's better with a little sugar on top, right? Let's be real. For how many? 4. There was only 4 of them. So I'm getting a little bit of granulated sugar, and I'm just putting it on top just for a little bit of crunch. So nothing too crazy. So that's it, right? When we think of our bars, nothing too crazy, right? YouTube, right? Instagram. And so what we're gonna do is I have the oven already preheated for 375, so I'm gonna throw it in there, 375, and we're gonna get, wow, you ever do that when you open up the oven and it just smacks you in the face? Like, holy smokes, it's summertime, I can't be doing that. All right, so we have that. Let me set the timer. We're gonna set it for 35 minutes. And if you don't wanna wait 35 minutes to see the final product, you'll see it in, check my stories. There it is, 35. There it is. You're good now? What happened? I'm skipping a little? Skipping a little. Of course it is. It's always a connection around this damn place. All right, YouTube. So how we doing over there? How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing here? We're good now? Perfect. So let me get rid of, you know what? I didn't even want to cut on this cutting board, because this is my fancy cutting board with the, look, I got this custom made. I don't like cutting on that one because it's like one of those resin tables, right? You shouldn't necessarily you shouldn't be cutting on the resin table, but essentially we have this one instead. This is the one we want to use, and it still has the little thing. So yeah, and those were made by YouTube's own John Malecki of Metal and Wood. I'll give him a little shout out. Metal and Wood. They're a really good YouTube channel based out of Pittsburgh. So yeah, they made my cutting boards, and they are awesome. So we have that. Hello, Wisdo. How we doing over there? So those are And should we make like a glaze? I was thinking too. Should we make a like a vanilla glaze to go over this when it's all said and done, or is that like now we're getting it's too sweet? I was just, who knows? But yeah, we'll come back. We'll come back to that. You can think about that. But essentially, what I want to do is I have my little cheat sheet of my recipes here, and this one is really easy, right? This one, put some honey in it too. Interesting. Okay. So this one is going to be a little interesting. So this one's going to be a frozen dessert. And so I'm using these little pie things. So it's just like some weird, like kind of plastic pie thing. So this is going to be a peanut butter chocolate frozen dessert. So I like peanut butter. I think most people like peanut butter. Most people like chocolate as well. I think we like chocolate. Most people like chocolate. I don't know. We all kind of like chocolate. So essentially what we want to do is this is actually very simple if I can find my peanut butter. Yep. So we're actually going to use a cup of just simple crunchy peanut butter. Now I don't know if you can see, I guess you can't see it over here on Instagram, but on YouTube, we have the food processor. Maybe I'll turn you around. You got a different angle. But we have the food processor set up. So I want a cup of peanut butter. So actually, let me rinse this off so we're not cross-contaminating, even though there's really nothing we'd be contaminating. But still want to have good cooking practices, right? You never want to use the same knife as you're using for vegetables and meat. Let's just be smart, people. We don't need to get sick. So I think that's about a cup. Let's see. Yep, so that's a little less than a cup. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this in the food processor. They always got to find a different way to measure out peanut butter. Peanut butter is always the worst thing to try to cook with. Because even though when you measure peanut butter, half of it gets stuck to the jar or half of it gets stuck to whatever the hell it is that you're measuring. So again, you're always measuring, you're measuring with the heart. So we're measuring with the heart here. But essentially, I'm going peanut butter into a food processor. And if you're like me, you always gotta get the spatula. Yep. Peanut butter. But then we need maple syrup. So I'm using this Market District maple syrup right here. And essentially what we want to do with this, if I can actually open it and it's not just completely shut. Nope. All right. Got to do the old hot water trick. Yeah, so that's always a thing. If you're ever trying to get honey or syrup and it doesn't open, run it under some hot water, and hopefully it opens. So let's see. Of course it's gonna open. Tap it on the counter. It's a metal jar. So it's a metal jar. If I tap it on the counter, I'm afraid that I'll be cleaning up syrup for the next 3 hours. So we're gonna avoid we're gonna avoid tapping. We're gonna use the hot water, but I don't know how much I want to use of this. I'm gonna put it back in this one, but it was 1/4 cup of maple syrup, so nothing too crazy. And again, maple syrup and peanut butter, again, one of the worst things to try to measure because it always gets stuck to the side. So sometimes you're doing a little bit more than you usually do, or you make sure that you clean out the glass jar. Yeah, see, glass jar, it's not smart and ideal to smack onto the countertop. Actually, one of the ways that you do it is with the knife, right? So if it's ever stuck, you do the knife. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that should always open it. That's every lid, a pickle jar. Probably should have done it with that jar, but yeah, you know how it is. But how we doing, everybody? Now, how's everybody doing? Do you like frozen stuff or like frozen type of no-bake desserts, or are you more of a baked type of dessert? Not necessarily meaning you're baked, but do you like the baked desserts. It's not even really a dessert. It's a snack. And I always find that it's more justifiable if you make your own snack, healthier snack. I like both. Okay. Rather than buying them at the store. All right. So now that we got that going, we need, I thought I had flour, because that's the only thing we're missing. Nope, our oat flour right here. So now we need 3/4 of a cup of oat flour. And you might be asking, why oat flour? Why not anything else? Because oat flour, you can eat raw. Now, if you eat raw all-purpose flour, that's not going to be too good for you. Let's just say that's not going to be good actually at all. And I'll tell you what, my eye game is, it's like I've been a chef most of my life, because I just eyed that to a perfect 3/4 of a cup. Just if you guys were wondering, you know, just saying. You know, sometimes I do like to show off. All right. So I added the syrup, the peanut butter, and the oat flour to a food processor, and I am running it on high. Now this is going to be a little thicker than you would actually want it to be. I should say I started on low and then I go on high. And just like anything else, you want to make sure that you're not trying to talk over it, but scrape down the sides, right? So often do I see people when they're cooking, they just figure like, okay, that's it. Let me just keep grinding it away. No, scrape the sides and then run it one more time for about 30 seconds. And then once you do that, now you know you're golden, right? Because now you know everything's going good. We still have 25 minutes on our bars. Oh, here we go. Perfect. So this is the consistency we're looking for here. So if you see this, see how it's like a little crumbly? See how it's a little crumbly right here? I don't know if you can get a better idea on this. So it's almost like, I want you to think, we want this consistency to be like the middle of a Reese's cup, right? And all this is syrup, oat flour, and peanut butter. That's it. Now, could you add vanilla? Yeah. But you got to watch out, because again, you don't want it to get rid of that consistency. I find that this is the best consistency whenever you're using the oat flour, the peanut butter, and the maple syrup. So now that we have that, get your spatula, and you can see this isn't really a thick, all this is really a to-go pie pan. Like if you're taking a pie, you're making a pie and you're trying to put it somewhere, that's all this is. But I like to double it down as the freezer one, because it just makes sense. But just remember, if you're using that, don't use a knife, because that will probably cut right through this. So, and then if anybody wants to know, I've yet to try this with like an almond butter. I've only ever done this type of recipe with peanut butter and chocolate, because let's be real, peanut butter and chocolate, those are like two things. Let me see if we can get it right here. Those are like two things that always go good together. And YouTube, you just wait until we get some better camera angles in here. I'm working with somebody, and I'm working with a person to try to get some different camera angles when we cook, right? So we're gonna have, and then Instagram, if you think, we're gonna have some angles right here. We're gonna have one zooming down. We gotta make it official around here in the content creation live stream world. I just gotta figure out how the hell I wanna do it, and if it's something that I really wanna do. So if it's something that I really wanna do, and it's something that you guys actually care for, because it's not about me, it's about whether or not you guys want to watch it, or if you guys actually want to do it. Now, if you're wondering, I think I got some cat hair in my eye, but yeah. All right. Now I can see. Perfect. But if you see this, right, just looks like some blah. But that is our base. And we do want to just kind of push this all the way out. And this is why you start in the middle, people. When you're making something that has like a bottom to it, always start in the middle rather than at the edge. Because if you start in the middle, you can spread it out throughout the whole thing, right? If you start at the edge, now you're always just constantly trying to find evenness. So always dump everything right in the middle and spread it out to the edges. And that's really tip for any type of baking, any type of cooking, because look, see how easy that was? You'd be sitting here for hours sitting there trying to go back and forth, right? And so, yeah. So make sure you press all of this down. And the thing is this is going to be a no bake dessert. And look at that. That kind of looks like, you see it shining? You seeing it shining? So, yep. So this is the base, and we're going to freeze that. So that's going to be frozen. And again, you can really try to get it as even as possible if you want. You can sit here all day if you really wanted to. I don't have all day. We got phone calls. We got people to talk to. We got new people into the program. And thanks everybody who it looks super yummy. Awesome. See, I love that. And thanks. I wanted to give a big shout out to everybody who reached out during the 4th of July coaching sale. We got a bunch of people reaching out and a bunch of people joining the program. So I'm happy to bring everybody in and kick some ass. Thank you for choosing me as your coach, and thank you for joining the program, because C will tell you if you're still in here, C, right? Our Saturday morning women's group, we get shit done. And this Saturday, we're actually setting, or tomorrow, we're setting some goals. So it's going to be a really good, it's going to be a fun, Zoom call. And yes, before you ask, I paid for the Zoom, so we have unlimited time to talk my ear off. So now that we have this, let's set it aside. That's the best. Love Saturdays. And we're also doing a Sunday yoga in the morning and Sunday yoga at night. So we're giving you guys some value. We're giving you guys a lot of value. So now I want to make the topping. So you can't have peanut butter without chocolate, right? No more being cut off. I know, right? We get right into the midst of things, and then they get cut off. So I was actually, now that I messed up, Sanita, how we doing? How you doing today? Thank you for tuning in. I was going to do this in my silicone mat because I could just pop it right out, but we'll save that for next time. I always just like using this thing. So if you're just tuning in, we are making, this is a frozen no-bake dessert. We actually, now that I'm seeing some imbalances, now that I bring it up, see, now I'm trying to be a perfectionist. But we have to, there it is. All right, so now that we have that, that's our base. We need some chocolate. So for some chocolate, let's not put it on the oven. I didn't want to go peanut butter chips, peanut butter, right? I thought that would be a little crazy. So essentially what we have right now is we're going to go ahead and use some just regular old chocolate chips, right? Some old chocolate chips. And how we're going to do this is we want a half a cup. I think I have my, let me just use the other one because the other one has, this is 2/3 of a cup, 2/3 of a cup. So we're not gonna, and you can see these ones are the real tiny ones. I don't know. I really like the tinier version ones. I gotta get YouTube some more light. I apologize, YouTube. You're kind of under my countertop, believe it or not. Yeah. So we're going chocolate right on the top. So we have chocolate, and then we're actually doing a little bit more peanut butter because why not? And really it's just because it blends it all together. And I'm looking for more of a 1/4 of a cup. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to melt this down, and you can just see it's just peanut butter, chocolate. We're going to melt this down in 15-second intervals. And the reason why you want to do that is because the chocolate, you don't want it to burn. You and peanut butter, I love peanut butter. That's the thing. Like, the thing is with peanut butter, you got to watch out because peanut butter is very high in calories. That's why when we do this, we're making sure, I mean, if you think about it, right? 2 tablespoons, right? Let's think. 2 tablespoons I have my tablespoons. Oh, okay. Yeah. So 2 tablespoons. This isn't even a tablespoon. This is a half a tablespoon. You get the point, right? It's a lot. Oh, here it is. So 2 of these of peanut butter is almost 200 calories, right? So think about a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? You do a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you're doing probably about 4 tablespoons. So let's see, you're doing about, we'll just say 400 calories of peanut butter on a PB&J, right? And let's say you're not using your 45 calorie bread. Your PB&J that you're giving to your kids or maybe eating for yourself is 600 fucking calories. You know what I mean? So, yeah, let's be real. Oh, and look at this. And I'll tell you what, because I'm Italian, I saw this, the garlic pepper seasoning. And it was Don Giovanni's Gourmet. And you better believe I only bought it because it was Don Giovanni. I was like, all right, this Italian Dago. I was like, this guy, I know he knows exactly how to do the measurements of the garlic and pepper. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to see how it is. And I will let you know how it tastes. Old Don Giovanni, you know. I got to keep up with my Italians, you know. Old Don Giovanni. All right, so let's actually look in here. That's nowhere near where we want it to be. So let's do it again. And on one of these days, I'm waiting for the deer to come make an appearance while we're here doing our live stream. I'm waiting for the deer. I don't know where they are. Where the hell are they? Yeah, dang, he ain't here. Mama and the babies, you can see the babies are getting pretty big. So, let's give this a little stir here. And you can see, right, when you start stirring it, oh my gosh, it actually comes together. If you would have saw it beforehand, right, you would have kept microwaving it. So you stir it, you bring it all together. And then now we have, and honestly, I like leaving a little bit of the chunks in there, if we're being honest. So let's be real. This peanut butter chocolate dish, you better not eat all of it, right? It's calorie dense, but it's going to be a little bit more or a little bit healthier than your, let's say, peanut butter cup from Reese's. Why? Because you actually have controlled ingredients, right? You're using real ingredients that you've actually added. There's no preservatives and there's no this, there's no that. You know, there's actual real ingredients here. So again, starting from the middle, we're going to bring it all the way out to the edge, as you can tell. And I wouldn't go too crazy with this, right? You just want to steer it all the way down. And again, you're using your rubber spatula, work from the middle all the way to the edge. Once you do that, you'll realize, oh my gosh, Nick, that was easy. Everything, and this is like just when you're icing a cake too, right? Everybody, you don't want to just sit there and start painting it like you're Bob Ross. We want to make sure that everything is exactly the way we want it. Again, work smarter, not harder. So once you have that, I mean, that's it, right? Let's be real. That is peanut butter, chocolate, frozen, perfect for the winter time, or summertime. I don't know why. I want it to be winter because it's hotter than hell in here. So I'm actually going to put this in the freezer for an hour. So we do that for an hour, if I have any space. Perfect. So we can put that in the freezer for an hour, and let me show you. Never mind, because that is being held up by that. So, what the hell did I have? Oh, no, I didn't even have it. So now that we have that, how's everybody doing? How are we? You still with me here? You still watching? We still getting into it? Because the final thing we have to do is the banana. That's the final one we have to do. And then hopefully I can do that in 20 minutes because I have to get on an onboarding call with Meg. So if you're tuning in, Meg, I'll be seeing you soon. Don't think just because I'm on here we won't be talking. I gotta get you going. I gotta get you onto the program. We're cooking as well. Oh, Wiz, what you cooking? I'm sweating my ass off. I want something sweet. That's always the problem, right? I think the issue here is that it's hot in here. I don't have the fan on, but I'm also sitting right here next to the oven that is cranking at steak. Oh, steak. Okay. I tell you what, when you're making steak, if you haven't done it already, if you do it on the flat top, make sure that you do 5 steak and chips. Oh, how do you make it? Because I tell you what, this is the way that I prefer to make my steak. And everybody on Instagram, you saw those grill marks, right? I wasn't playing around. Those are about the perfect grill marks. And let me know if you saw that photo of it. It's weird. Now, even though we got 70,000 people on Instagram, we still run into the same issues that we did when we had 1,000 people. And that was only I made that meal prep post, and it only got seen, or was only delivered to 400 people. Now, granted, I love that 400 people seen it, but we have 70,000 people in the community. Why are you only showing it to 400 people, you know? But, so if you didn't see those grill marks, I forgive you. But if you did, tell me how good they were, right? They were legit. And how you do that, you do 5 minutes on one side, you flip it, you do 5 minutes, and then you flip it, 5 minutes, and then you throw it in the oven for 5 minutes. Think, 5-minute rule. Technically 5 on one side, flip it, 5 on that side, 5 in the oven. You got those were lovely marks. I know. I got a bunch of messages that said that they were at an 11 out of an 11, or 11 out of 10. I got one that said, I haven't seen grill marks like this ever. How did you do that, right? I'm like, okay, awesome. But really, how you do it is a hot pan. And that was from a cast iron. There goes my Yinzer. There's my Yinzer accent. Cast iron. That's from the cast iron. But it's a hot cast iron. Yeah, really hot cast iron. All right, so let's do this real quick. We have the banana, because I got these bananas that are over here dying. They're dying alive. All right, so I do have, let me wipe this out. Those were lovely marks. I know, actually, now that I kind of want a steak. Now, see what you had to, you just had to say steak over there on YouTube, didn't you? Nice, I heard that, okay. Now, how was everybody's 4th of July? Did you guys go see some fireworks? Do you go out? Do you watch, are you the type of person that goes out and watches fireworks, or do you watch it on TV? Because I tell you what, I passed out. I had one too many hot dogs, passed out, and was awakened. I didn't realize that just right down the street at the pool, they light off fireworks. So I thought we were getting shot. I was having some of the worst nightmares. I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And I realized, holy shit, it's 4th of July. Wow, you passed out at 7. Wow, you are old as shit. There was a light show and lightning in my backyard. Oh my gosh, really? Some people aren't even from the U.S. and probably like, 4th of July? What do you mean fireworks? What the hell are you talking about? Especially if you're talking about steak and chips. You probably aren't from the U.S., right? So, especially with the word chips. Chips I know is fries or potatoes. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? I will say this. We have 10 minutes on our strawberry bars. So let me know if you're excited to see these strawberry bars. Throw some strawberries in the chat if you can find a strawberry. But let's get this situated. This one is actually probably one of the easiest bar recipes, because you throw, let me see if I have it right here so it's everything centered. It's one of the easiest bar recipes because you throw everything into the food processor, or you throw everything into a like a standalone mixer. So I have 1 banana, and this is usually 1 cup. 1 banana is 1 cup. That's usually like the ratio, I would say. I wouldn't necessarily, check your bananas, right? Check your damn bananas. But I usually, the way that I've always measured it out was always one banana was kind of 1 cup. So that's something to think about. Now, I still have the rest of this peanut butter. And this will, if I did it correctly, should be another 1/2 a cup of peanut butter. So if I did this correctly, this should be another 1/2 cup of peanut butter. And you're probably asking, Nick, could you ever have enough peanut butter? Holy shit. But we have some vegans in here, right? We have some people who are vegetarian, and sometimes their only protein source is peanut butter. But I will say it's not the best. If you're a vegetarian and you're vegan and your only protein source or your main protein source is peanut butter, you're more than likely a little bit overweight. And if you ever wonder why there's some people who are vegetarian or vegan and still overweight, it's probably because of their protein sources are high fat, and so they're not actually getting enough protein to fat to calorie ratio. But if you were part of the program, you would know that we'd get that shit under control for you, so you wouldn't even have to worry about that, because I would handle that for you. So we throw in, we have a 1/2 cup, we have the banana. And again, if anybody wants any of these recipes, please just message me. I have them. I was just going to keep them with the, I did not think about it that way. Yep. It's good, something to think about, right? I think a lot of times when people think that they're eating healthier, or they're doing a lot of, especially in the vegan vegetarian world, because a lot of your protein has to be either pea based or soy based. And if you look at a lot of these different ingredients, they do come with the back end of a lot of fat, right? It's not as clean as like fish, turkey, right? 4 ounces of beef, this is how I always remember it, and this is how everybody else can remember it, is 4 ounces of beef get you 22 grams, but I always say 420 because everybody knows 420. But it's 4 ounces of beef get you 20 grams of protein. You can't get 4 ounces of beef. Like if you were to eat 4 ounces of peanut butter, you'd be over 1,000 calories just because of that, right? So it's just like a lot of the stuff you really have to take with a grain of salt, see what's most beneficial for you. So that's something to think about. But now that we're here, where are we at? 1/4 cup of the brown sugar. So we got 1/4 cup, and we use an organic. I don't know why, but we got organic brown sugar, whatever. I'm actually going to throw an egg in here as well, because this one needs a little bit of a binder. Where is the egg? I know I bought egg. Okay. So we are in the fridge. I'm surprised you guys don't see the cat coming into the fridge with me. Every time I open up this fridge, the cat decides that she wants to go into the fridge. And believe it or not, we actually... the cat snuck into the fridge before, and... hate to say it, but she got stuck into the fridge for about 25 minutes because we didn't know where she was. The damn cat was stuck in the fridge. Look at her. She looks dead. I mean, get it, you alive? Oh, you sniff. Why don't you sniff in the ground like we got something for you? Here, you want to say hi to the people? Here, say hi. Say hi. Was she happy? Say hi, everyone. She's like, why did you just wake me up? Yep. She got actually trapped into the fridge, and if you see her necklace, well, it has my number on it, so maybe I don't want to give out my number to everybody, but it says, "Hi, I'm Kitty, and I am diabetic. Don't feed me." Because when she was an outdoor cat, everybody in the neighborhood decided to feed her. And she was never getting better. And I'm wondering, like, man, we're stabbing her with insulin. We're doing all this stuff to her. But we realized that it was the neighborhood. They were feeding her. So, yeah, it was a... You remember that, too, huh? You like that. When everybody was feeding you. She used to be... Let's see, she's 12 pounds now. She's 8 pounds now. She used to be 18 pounds. So yeah, she's come a long way. So we have that, and we're gonna throw some almond milk. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Can I do this in 10 minutes? Jesus. Yeah, well, here we are. So now we got some, we're going to throw a half a cup of this almond milk. Now, you could do oat milk, you could do almond milk, you could do really whatever. Actually, you can't do whatever because you don't want this to be cow's milk. You want it to be plant-based milk. And the reason being is if it's regular milk, you'll have the chance for it to go rotten, and I'll deal with that later. But this one's easy because, again, like I said, you're throwing everything into a blender and kind of going from that regard. And this should be the end, if we did this correctly, should be the end of my oats. Would you look at that? It's nice whenever you do the measurements and everything does come out right. I had so many damn oats that I was been trying to get rid of them. So that one, let's see. Okay, I still have a little bit. I'll still have a little bit left. So that was 2 cups. So essentially, that's basically it, right? So we need to throw a little bit of salt. I mean, we could always throw some vanilla in there. And again, right, we're measuring with the heart. And that's why this one's easier, because you're throwing everything into a blender. So if you want, these ones are the peanut butter oatmeal bars. In 3 minutes, we're about to take out those strawberry bars. So that should be, random question, what's up, Wiz? I didn't realize that I had that blocking you. What's going on? Talk to me. What else do I gotta do? Oh, cinnamon. So we have, and that could have been bad. Put some cumin instead of cinnamon. Who's done that before? You ever put some cumin instead of cinnamon? Holy smokes! What's one thing? Oh, let me see. That sounds like a good one. I missed it. What's one shopping? What's your shopping like? Staple in your house. Oh, I would say that's a good question. So he asked on Instagram, he or she, whatever, ask, what is a staple in your house? I would say that's kind of tough, because that would be probably a mixture between the protein pasta. I love how I can't find my cinnamon. What the hell happened to my cinnamon? Would probably be my protein pasta or eggs. I would say the protein pasta or eggs would probably be my go-to. But I would say and the reason I say protein pasta is because there's going to be times whenever you don't want to cook, you don't want to do a lot of cooking. At least if you have that protein pasta, believe it or not, a lot of it goes a little of it goes a long way. What the hell happened to my cinnamon? And you mean to tell me I'm out of cinnamon and I didn't even know, and I'm going to try to make this damn recipe and I don't even have cinnamon back here? Like, are you? No. It's all the way in the back. I was going to say, damn, that would have sucked. So we have cinnamon. We have our vanilla. We have our salt. All right. The moment of truth here. Moment of truth. We all know that this is going to turn. Oh my God. Ooh. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. Look at that. And you can see, I'm actually going to probably put this in here for another 3 minutes. Reason being is because I want that to be a little bit more crispy on the top. But other than that, that's looking pretty damn good. So I'm going to blend all of this up into the food processor. And then essentially we're going to bake that, because this is going to turn into a batter. one thing you'll notice with this one is going to be a little bit runnier than you normally, especially that last one. And then we're going to put it on high, boost that sucker. And what did I say beforehand? You got to make sure that you scrape down the edges, and then you do another mix. Once you do that, you are ready to bake. And then now this one, again, this one's gonna be baked. I don't know what I'm gonna do. 9-inch pan, I think I have. Yeah. So I'm actually gonna bake it in one of these pans right here. And I want you to see this, because this is why when I said this is one of the easier ones of the day, it's because of this, right? So this is the mixture. See how it kind of looks like this, like almost like wet oat mixture? Boom. Because this is, it's gonna be, you're gonna look at this and be like, wow, that looks like it's never gonna come together. But remember that this is banana. So the banana, you're gonna bake it all out, and this is gonna be just like a banana bread almost, so to speak. So shake that all off. That's what's good about this liquid stuff, is that you can smack it. Look at that. Bada bing, bada boom. So then now, all we gotta do with this is, this actually is like Martha Stewart, because I'm about to pull out this one and then put that one in. But let's make sure, do 325, and this is perfect timing because I have a client call at 4:30, and so everybody, make sure that if you want this recipe or any of these recipes that I have, message me and say, Nick, give me the damn recipe. DM me, say, I want the damn recipe. Yeah, that's perfect. I think essentially what we could do with this now is that we can, and see, you want that nice little crumble on the top. That's what we want. That's what we want. So we're gonna let this cool somewhere. Kitty, watch out. We're gonna let that cool. We're gonna put this one back in. And so now I have some healthier snacks for the rest of the week that aren't going to necessarily have me calling Crumble Cookie. They're not going to have me calling all these places to eat some damn snacks and eat some damn treats. Because why? I made it myself. I have some freezer stuff. I have some stuff to bake. And they could go likewise for breakfast. They can go for a snack. I definitely, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know how much the macros are. I still have to count them. These recipes were always just based on something that I've always thought was healthier than what I was already eating. So essentially, that's what we're gonna get ourselves into. We got some healthier snacks. We did the frozen peanut butter and chocolate. We did the strawberry oatmeal bars, and then now we just did the peanut butter. I don't even know what the hell you want to call that. The peanut butter oat breakfast bars with cinnamon. So if you want any of those recipes, they all look great. Oh, thank you, Java. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And again, if you want to see the finished products, I'll put them up on my stories or maybe make a little post about it. But then again, only 200 of you guys are seeing my posts, so who the hell even knows, right? But essentially, we're going to be live. Everybody who's a client, make sure that I see you 10:30 tomorrow morning in the Women That Win group. And if you're interested in the coaching program or in the women group, message me, message me for the recipes. Just message me. I'm here trying to help. And if you want to help yourself, I want to help you get there and be better. Other than that, I will see you Sunday for yoga and Pilates. So thanks everybody for tuning in. This was the Food Friday, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. YouTube, how we doing? That was my Instagram outro. And for you guys, same thing, right? Stay tuned. We're doing more live streams. We're doing more stuff. I'm trying to do at least 3 to 4 live streams per week. Food, fitness, mindset. If that sounds like your thing, you're in the right place. I want to help. I want to help you. And we're actually going to get a lot more camera angles, right? You're on my iPad, but essentially what we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to have one that's down facing the or facing the cutting board. I'm going to try to do it a little bit, professional, so to speak. But yeah, that's some good stuff that we have coming up in the future. So if you guys want to stick around, follow through with the ride. We're trying to take over. We're trying to help. And if it's about food, if it's about fitness, it's about mindset, you're in the right place. And yeah, awesome. So other than that, Wiz, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for keeping me company. It'll be awesome. Oh, I love that. Yes, it will be awesome. Thanks for keeping me company. If you ever have any tips or need any recipes like that, holler at me, message me on Instagram. I know it's a little bit different on YouTube, but holler at me on Instagram. And let's have a conversation. Let's talk. Let's see if we can get you better. But other than that, thanks for tuning in. And I'll see you on the next one. So peace, everybody.